afternoon, everybody. As Sarah said, my name's Lisa and I am your academic liaison librarian. So if you thought learning resources was a mouthful, that's even worse. But I'm your librarian with the Institute of Management and Health. So if you do have any queries with regards to finding, using resources, saving resources, referencing, then you can come to me. I've also got a colleague, Connie Davidge, who's not here today, but she is the academic liaison for Carmarthen. So either of us, if you want to get in touch with us for anything library related, I can give you our details at the end. And you've also got a digital skills advisor, Jessica Hill. So if anybody needs any support or help with anything digital, then you can contact Jessica Hill for support with that. So that's things like, anything Microsoft Office based and any other digital tools that you may wish to use. You can get in touch with Jess and she will be able to support you in that regard as well. So what I've been asked to do today is a bit of a mashup of everything. So I haven't come in with slides because I think I'm going to be led by you guys, what you want to know and what you want to find out. So I'll take you into the library and show you some of the resources. I know there's some issues maybe with referencing as well, so we can have a look at the supporting resources for that and any questions you have on that. So please feel free to ask. You could either unmute yourselves as we go along or just put your hand up, and if Sarah and Laurie can just keep an eye on that for me and let me know if there's any questions in the chat or any hands up, because I won't be able to see much while I'm sharing my screen. So you can leave your cameras on or off, it's up to you, but if you can all mute yourselves while I'm sharing, and if you do unmute to ask a question, that's fine. So if there's no questions before we start, I'll start sharing my screen now. Okay. So let's go. So to find the library. So I don't know if any of you have had any trouble finding the library in recent weeks. About a fortnight ago, we moved over to the new university website and our library web page. We have got a library web page that's there for the general public and for partner colleges and external partnerships. But the resources that we hold, this isn't a catalogue, you can access the catalogue from the outward facing web page. But if you want to get hold of any of the materials, the supporting material on the internet. So a lot of people don't realise we've now got an internet as well. So I'll just show you, if I just go to the university web page, it's not straightforward. It can be confusing for people, so that's what I'll show you from here. It's we have told the web team that we think it's too complicated to get to our resources, but they are looking at quicker and easier ways to get to it. So depending which way you go in, you can just go to experience and facilities on the main web page and click on library and learn resources. Now, if you see Alice here, this lovely lady with the red hair, then you are on our web version of the library web page. So if you scroll down, you can still access our catalogue and search it from here. That's not a problem. But if you want to access our supporting materials, then you need to scroll down and sign in here. So already part of our community, you'd sign in as current students. I'm going to sign in as staff, and then you'll see the lovely Ivana picture here. And this is, if you look at the top, you're on the internet, which means you've got access to our supporting materials as well. So our academic and info skills, our support for our Need More service. So our Need More service is if you can't actually obtain anything from the library catalogue, you come across an article maybe on Google Scholar or somewhere else, and we haven't got access, you can request it through Need More. And if you just click on that, it will take you in and you just complete the form there. And you can go in and request something from our interlibrary loan service. We've also got Getting Started guides. So if you click on Getting Started guide, And I know a lot of you are doing very, very different topics, but you could have a look at some of the Getting Started guides with some of the subject areas that we are looking at. So, for example, if you're looking at health and social care, you could click on this one and it gives you some ideas of the resources there. So you can see online resource lists are linked here, your referencing handbook is linked here, you can still search the library from here, and you can look at which books are popular and which are new. So you can just scroll through there and you can see which new ones have been added, and you can search our catalogue for journals and links to ourselves. So as Emily, one of our advisors, and Stuart is one of the digital skills advisors. And you can see here, that's our Birmingham team pictured there for digital skills. So there's lots of information on those Getting Started guides. If I go back, and the academic and info skills. So before we go into the library catalogue, I'll just show you these. So academic and info skills, everything that I show you today, we have got online Moodle units that you can work through at your own pace and you can go back to and refer as well. So we've got one on finding and using information, referencing and plagiarism. The researchers one isn't written yet, or the copyright one, and our handbooks are here as well again. So if you want to download our referencing handbook, it's available under that tab. So just to show you what's below these tabs, finding and using information, you can see there's different units and you can just click here and it'll take you into Moodle. But all of these, that's complete. Unit 1 is complete, Unit 2 is complete, Unit 3 will be up after Easter, and Unit 4 is complete. So this is the advanced one, will be there after Easter, but the rest of the units are available for you to look at. And if we just go in, if we just look at searching for information, it takes you into Moodle. Sorry, somebody trying to... I can hear something back in my ear. I don't know. Somebody got their microphone on? No questions?
It's just muted.
Okay.
Yeah, so it should be okay to carry on.
So just to show you these, if I switch that to a student role just so it looks more familiar to you, I've gone into finding using information. So we've got identifying information, searching for information, and advanced and evaluating. So if we look at the searching one, so things I'm going to show you today is introduction to searching using the library catalogue, looking for journal articles and finding specialised information, so that's databases. And you can have a look at any of these if you just look at the basic one, just to show you what it looks like. You will be able to work through these in your own time. You can jump to sections. If I go back to the beginning, this is what it looks like. You would just have start course, you just self-enroll in it. You're not tested on it, it's purely for yourself to work through. I just resume course. Here's the introduction, and you just read it, scroll through, click to the next section. What is the library catalogue? Talks you through it, gives you an overview of what it is. What will you find in it? And navigating into it so you can see all the different ways you can get in. And then simple searching. So this shows you how to complete a simple search. And you can just click on the items and it gives you information about what's on there and how to access material, how to find a print book. So you can scroll down if you want to look at reading online, downloading a whole book, saving resources, it's all here for you. Okay, so you can just jump to bits. There's little videos on that and you can go to each section as you want to or just scroll through them yourself. Okay, so just to show you those, you don't have to access it through the website. You can go straight to Moodle. And if you go home on Moodle, it should be this module here, Library Info Skills, should be on your Moodle homepage. If it's not, just search for it, Library Info Skills, and this module will come up. And all you need to do is self-enroll and then go into the sections. The reference one is also complete. And we've got 4 modules on referencing. So anything you need to help you with referencing. So you've got academic integrity and avoiding plagiarism is one course, then referencing and managing information. So RefWorks is covered in that, as well as Word, OneNote, and other tools collection on your reading list as well that you can use to save your resources for your referencing. Referencing the basics talks about why we reference and how to recognise material when we need to reference something, and then referencing the mechanics that goes into the different styles. You choose Harvard because I think that's what you're using, and you would follow that and it would show you exactly how to create in-text citations and your reference list. So these are all supporting material to help you when there isn't anybody on hand to ask, or just if you want to read through those yourself and develop your own skills. Because it's very difficult when you come back into education of you don't know what you don't know. So these are here to support you, to give you some ideas of the kind of things that you need to find out more about. Okay, so if we go back to the library homepage, I've gone out of it now, haven't I? Where am I going? Let's sign back in. So to Ivana, there she is. And these are all our resources there. These are our supporting resources. But as I said, you can search from either of the pages. You can search and go into the library catalogue from the external website as well. But when we're searching, we can put a search box. If we're in the actual internet, so you can see here we're in the internet in Ivana, you do have these options here as well, which you don't get on the website version. You just get the search box. So when you're searching our collections, you can put your keyword into the search and it will search across everything. So if I just use coaching, for example, it's very broad, I know, but I'm using my keyword is coaching. As I said, it's a very broad keyword. And unlike Google, where it would read every word that you put in and it will try to make sense of it and tell you what it thinks you want to know, the library doesn't assume that. So when you put your keyword in, at the moment it's searching for the word coaching. That word can appear anywhere. So you can see on the drop downs, I've got all items, query words, anywhere in the record, and I'm searching everything. The first thing you need to do is sign in. If you sign in, then it means you've got access to whatever material is hosted on there. And it allows you to save queries, it allows you to export things, and it gives you a lot more functionality if you sign in. As you can see, I've got coaching. It's going to be coaching from any kind of subject area. And I'm searching everything. So every time you see a drop-down menu or a scroll bar, explore it. You cannot break the library catalogue. You do have to familiarise yourself with it and get used to it to be able to get the most out of it. The reason we all go to Google is because we're familiar with it and we find it easy. The library catalogue takes some time to get used to, but once you understand how it works, then you will find it easier. So if I put coaching in, and I'm looking at all items. So you can see it's searching books, databases, journals, articles, images, audio, video, dissertations. It's searching everything and anywhere in the record. So that means it's looking for coaching, but it's not just looking for it in the title. It's looking at title, contents. It could appear anywhere in an abstract. It could be in the actual article itself. It could be that it's a subject heading. So it's searching a lot of information. You can see here are my results. I've got over 72,000 results. And again, I'm searching physical items. I'm also searching electronic items. So I need to narrow that down. So first of all, I can just put, if I'm looking for books, I can do books and see what that comes up with. And each time I add in the filters, you can see it'll narrow it down. So that's got it down to 1,171. It doesn't mean that's what I want. And I could want it in the title. So if I want coaching in the title on a book, I've got it down to 307 results. It's still a lot, but it's going in the right direction. I've also got on the left, I've got filters. So at the moment I've chosen books already. I might want to narrow it down by year because obviously I've got different dates here. It picks up my keyword and looks for, it should bring up the newest first, but it doesn't always. So maybe I want to look for maybe from 2017. I think that's only 2 years ago, but it's actually not. It's now 7 years ago. But you can see now I've got 76 results. That's a lot more manageable to look through. And if I'm thinking, okay, so I'm getting football, I don't want that, but I've got coaching and mentoring. So maybe this is a book that I think might be interesting. And I click on this book. So when I click onto the actual book itself or the item, it could be an article or a journal, I go into the detailed record of that book. So here I can view it online. I can click on it and it'll take me, because it's got online access, it means I can access it online. If I scroll down though, I've got more options. So you can see here, I've got the author. So if I've got a key author, if I clicked on this, if I right click on this to show you, let me close down some of these. You can see, oh, there's only one book we've got in the library with that author. But it could be, if it's a key author, there could be many books that we've got by that key author. So it will expand there. You've also got a description of the book. So rather than going in and searching through the book, it gives you an overview. It gives you some subject headings. So you can see here, there's a subject heading in mentoring. So if I click on that, what it will do, it'll take my keyword that I've just, that subject heading, and it'll keep books, but now it'll change this to that contain the exact phrase in subject. So everything that's in the library is given us fixed subject heading. So that allows it people to be able to search more easily for related work. So you can see now the results I've got here might be more significant to what they were before. Okay, so you can try that as well. So if I do a new search, so if I wanted to save this search, I can click Save Query and turn on notifications. So if I do this, my email automatically is inserted here and I would save. I'm not going to do that because I'll be getting alerts all the time for this subject. But what it allows you to do is any search you put in, if you save the query and set up an alert, anything new is added to the catalogue, it will let you know, and it will you'll get an email to say this new book or this new article or this has been added to the library catalogue. So it allows you to stay on top of your subject area as well. If you wanted to save a particular item, you just pin it and it saves it to your favourites here. You have to be signed in for this to work. And if you go here, that shows you your saved records. And there it is. You can add tags to it. So you can label it however you want, and then you can sort by your tags when you come to use them. You've also got saved searches. So that search that we saved, you can see it's there, and I can go back to it at any time just by clicking on it. And I will get a search history. Just be aware it'll only save the last few since you logged in last. Okay, so it's fine while you're still in there, but once you come out, you lose that search history unless you've saved it. And you can save it, you can save the searches, but if we go back as well, you can also save it here, so you can send it to yourself. So if I click on that, anything that I've listed here, copy link, and I can just send that link to myself or to somebody else. And if they click on it, it'll bring up that result. So you can save it that way as well if you don't want to set up a query. Okay. So you've got options there. Let's do a new search. So let's do mentoring again, or let's do mentor. And we want mentors, mentoring, and mentor. So by putting mentor and an asterisk in, what it will do, it will look for all endings of the word. It looks for the trunk of the word. So same as if you were looking at therapy. So if you put in, therapy might be a better one actually. If I put therapy, there up. It'll look for therapeutic, it'll look for therapy, it'll look for therapies or therapist. It'll look for all versions of that word. So it looks for the trunk of the word and looks for all alternatives. So this is a great way to expand your search when you're looking for keywords. Same as if you're looking for childhood, you'd put child and an asterisk, you'd be looking for child, children's, children, childhood. So it allows you to search there. And if you did that, that would expand your search out. Note, when I've put any search into the library catalogue, you can see how many results for that. It's ridiculous. Search e-resources, it jumps back to e-resources. So if you want to check our physical items as well, make sure you're searching everything rather than just e-resources, because it misses out. If this is a legacy from COVID when it was put in as e-resources and we're unable to change it. Okay, so if I do coaching again and I want to put and mentoring, maybe I just don't want just coaching. So if I put coaching in and click on advanced search, it takes me into this field. So I've got any field, so that means it's searching the title, it's searching the content, it's searching the abstract of articles, it's searching everywhere. I've got coaching and maybe I want and mentoring, or maybe I want or mentoring. So if I put and, so it's already filled in here, and mentoring. What it's doing, when I'm searching for coaching, look for everything that's got coaching, everything that's got mentoring, but it'll only include in your search results any articles or books that contain both those words. So it's narrowing down my field because it's got to contain both of those words. If I change that to or, it would expand it. So it would look for anything with coaching, anything with mentoring, and anything with both those terms in it. So these are called Boolean operators, and these are ways to expand and narrow your search using extra keywords. Okay, so if I've got coaching and mentoring and do a search, okay, I've still got a lot of results there. So I can, instead of any field, I can put title for both. So now I'm looking for coaching and mentoring in the title. And it narrows it down a lot more. Okay, I can add a new line in and I can put not. So not will exclude something. So I could put, maybe I don't want sport. And it'll exclude anything that's got sport in the title, but it'll include coaching and mentoring. You can see my results there. Again, as I'm doing this, I've still got my full filters here. So again, I'm searching everything at the moment. So I can, if I wanted to access it online, I can tick full text online. Maybe I'm looking for journal articles. So I'm looking for academic journal articles, peer reviewed. If it's peer reviewed, it'll have a little purple image here and it'll say peer reviewed. And maybe I'm looking at, again, a particular date. So let's do 2018 and refine. Oh, I just took that one. Let's do full text online and peer reviewed. I should have applied those first. Just check when you put them in that your active filters are here. And if you lock them in, they will turn yellow. And that means even if I change anything here, these will still remain locked in. Okay, and you can change those at any time. Again, you've got other options on the left. So you can go by subject if I show more. If you're looking at coaching and mentoring in a particular subject area, so maybe teaching, or maybe you're looking at occupations, you can just click on that and you can see how many results you will get for each of these. This is what it appears most in. Okay. Are there any questions so far, please?
No.
No, there's nothing in the chat either, so you're all good.
Oh, okay. So if I just click on articles here, so I'm just going to do articles only rather than books, because books are peer reviewed as well. You can see now I've got just articles. So when I get an article, You can see it's peer reviewed because I've locked that in. And I've got, it'll tell me it's an article, they're all articles. It'll give me the title of the article. It'll give me which journal it's from. So you can see you've got this one, you've got the author there, and this is Journal of Surgical Oncology. It's not something I don't think. Oh, it's not responding. Let's have a look. It's taking its time to load up. Let's try refreshing it. I might have to come out of this one. It's not liking it. It might be because I'm sharing my screen. It sometimes does this. It might just throw us out and we might have to start that one again. Okay. Okay, so you can see here now I've got which journals, you can see which journals it's coming from. So again, I could narrow that down if I wanted to along here, and I could just put it in. So if I just do Minter in here and see what comes up as a subject heading. Okay, so if you wanted to look, you wanted to pick one of these, we'll just pick this one. For example, you can see that if you wanted to access it, just click on it and you can read it online. So there's the link, that's the database that it sits in. So when you look at View Online, it'll tell you where that particular article or book or whatever it is that's hosted. So a lot of them are, we've got over 100 different databases in the library catalogue, and depending on where we can access the information depends on which database. So some are specific, so you've got Business Source Complete, all about business. We've got certain ones for health, for law, and different databases. So you'll become familiar to where this information is hosted as well. What you'll see here, I'm going to use this one as an example, you've got little icons. So this article was published in 2021. Now, if you see these little icons, this allows you to search forwards and backwards from this article. So this one, if you hover over it, it shows you sources that we hold in the library that have referenced this article. The one going down shows any sources that this article has referenced. So rather than go into it and then have a look at the reference list and see what, and then, oh, that one looks good, and then putting that into the library catalogue or into Google, it allows you to search straight away for all the resources that have cited it or are cited in it. So if I click on this one, you can see there's 6 articles that have used that particular journal article, and you can keep going with it as well. So it's a way of finding other resources related to it. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh, I've gone wrong way now. Let's go back to results. If you go down, you can see the ones that are referenced in it. So you can see the reference list. Okay. And again, you can access these, you can pin them, you can save them. The other thing you can do, are you all using your reading lists?
They're all available on Moodle.
Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay. So if you're using your reading lists, what you can do is if there's a particular article that you think is useful, and again, I'm not looking at, let's have a look. Let's just click on this one. I don't know how good this one is, but we'll just click on it. If you click on the detailed record, you'll see you've got options here. So if you save it to your reading list and you're signed into your reading list, I'd have to sign in because I'm not signed into it. I can save it to my collection. You won't have the option for list or collection as a student. It'll just say add to reading list. Add to reading list, and it should go to your reading list. So when you go into your reading list next, and you go into your menu, so here, might not have saved it because I wasn't signed in. You do have to be signed in. Go to your collection, and there it is, your article. So it's a really good way of saving items for your references as well. And from there, you can add in tags. So if you've already got tags that you're using, has portfolio, for example, or assignment 1, whatever, when it comes to using it for your reference list, you will have all of them tagged. You can just go in, you can filter your list by tags. If I just do assignment 1, mine are going to be very random. I've shown different students this, so all the books I've used for my assignment, and then I can click on collection. I've got to select them all. Let's click on collection, export to Word. I can choose Harvard. Be aware, it's very, very basic style of Harvard. It's not going to be absolutely correct. In fact, there's probably be a lot of mistakes, but it gives you something to start from. I can then export that out, open the file, and I've got a Word document with all the items that I've used in that assignment. So if you don't want to use a reference tool manager like RefWorks or Mendeley or whatever one you use, more are available. There's lots out there, and it's a personal choice whether you use one, but you can see you have got a list to start from, and then you would just check it against, our references style and make sure it's correct, but at least you've got all the books there and saved. So it's a great tool within the library catalogue that you can use that reading listing as well. You have got a citation here, and if you click on Harvard, it will give you a citation, but it will tell you to check for accuracy. And I know students do use this as a rule, but just be very, very careful because it doesn't get the information 100% correct all of the time. It's taking the information from the metadata that's in the catalogue, and so it doesn't catch everything all of the time. Likewise, if you were looking at a chapter in an edited book, so a chapter in an edited book will have a book with editors, and every chapter will be written by a different author. And if you have got the book up here and you do the reference, then it's not going to pull out the information from the particular chapter that you've used. So just be aware, using this doesn't give you, it's not correct all the time. You do need to understand referencing to be able to make sure you've got the right information in your reference list. Okay. You can export it to RefWorks from here as well. So if you do choose to use RefWorks as a reference tool manager, then you can export to RefWorks. So you've got ways of saving it from here. Okay, you've got your pin, you've got your queries, and you've got the QR code up there, as well as saving its individual items to your reference list. Okay, so you can search the advanced search, you can add in different key terms. If you're looking for a phrase, so if we do a new search, let's have a look. So if we're doing change management, for example, if I put it in quotation marks, what it looks for the phrase rather than the word change and the word management. So change management, by putting in quotation marks, if I do it without first, show you, although it will probably find the two words together. I've got over 2 million results there. If I put it in quotation marks, because I'm looking for the two words together. Hopefully that will narrow it down. Might not do it by a huge amount because there's still a big subject area, 25,000. So it has taken off, you know, a lot of results because now it's looking for my key term. So if you've got a key phrase that you're looking for, then put it in quotation marks to narrow down your search. So when you're looking for, you can see here, it's picking up everything here. I've got books, I've got journals, I've got all items. Again, I can use my options to narrow it down here, or I can use them here. But if I'm looking for a particular journal, if I want to just browse the journals in my topic area, I've got a menu across the top as well to help me. So it's not just this search box and the filters here. I've got browse e-journals here. So if I click on this, it takes you to browsing. And you can still search for journals in that in the search box, but you can also search this way. So you can see here I've got particular subject areas, so I can have a look at the subject areas. So I can look at, you know, if I wanted to look at particular ones, you can look through those. If I'm looking at social work, for example, click on social work and all the journals will appear under social work. And you can see all the different topics within there. And it shows me all the journals, or I can go in on a particular topic area. Just be aware that the journals we subscribe to, we get in packages as well. So they're not all British. A lot are American or European. So just be aware that they're not just British focused. I tend to search by journal rank, and that gives me the highest ranking journal first, okay, rather than the A to Z, and then I can have a look and explore the journals that way. I don't know these journals at all, but if we just go for one of these, if we look at journal of, oh God, they're all horrible on there. Let's not do that one. Let's do, none of them are going to be nice, are they? But housing care and support, let's go into that one, or journal of poverty and social justice, go into a particular journal. If it's a good journal, I can see the articles that I have access to. You can see this one, there's a little lock by it. And there's a little disclaimer at the top. So there's an embargo on some of the journals we subscribe to. We can't get the latest editions. So full text unavailable from 1 year from time of publication. That doesn't mean you won't be able to ever access it. You know, it's a rolling year, so you'll be able to access it that way. But if it's something that's under the locked issue and you feel you really want to get hold of that article, then you can use our Need More service and we will try and get that for you. You can usually request up to 10 Need More books and articles in an academic year. So you have got access to that. If we look at 2023, you can see volume 31 issue 2 is locked, but volume 31 issue 1 is open. You can access those. If you think this is a good journal, you can add it to your bookshelf, sign it in. You can see I'm signed in automatically because I've created an account. If you add it to your bookshelf, anytime anything new is added to that journal, anytime a new article comes out, you'll get an email to say there's new articles. Okay. Again, you can just go in to a article and it'll take you into the article where it's hosted on the library catalogue. So depending where this one is, this is in ProQuest. So this is one of our platforms and it'll take you to the article there. When you go into the article, you've got suggested sources alongside, so different journals. They might give you keywords. So again, you've got keywords. You can use those to help you search for other information. And you can view it from Web of Science as well. So you can view it there and you can see the journal, the full journal. If you want to click here, just click on the journal and browse publications. So you can go in and browse all the ones you've got access to. So you can scroll through and you can search within the issue from here. Okay. Are there any questions on this? I know it's a lot to take in if you haven't done any of this before, but please do ask if you have any questions on finding these.
No questions as yet in
No?
chat.
Okay. So you've got your journals in browsing, but if we come out of browsing, let's close that down a moment. So yeah, I could have searched that. So if I put journal of poverty here and search, and I put journals, it should come up with a journal here. There we are. So journal of poverty and social justice. You can see all the different journals that I've got coming up with my keyword search. So if I wanted to go into this, I wanted to search within it from the library catalogue rather than going into the database, because everybody's got different ways. And in that, if I wanted to put social housing, for example, and search for that term, it's just searching within that journal itself. And you can see I've only got 3 results there for it, and then I can save them or export them, or I can save the query within that journal quite easily from here as well. Okay. So there's different ways you can search for your journal, and again I can add in further keywords. I won't need to at that point because there's only 3 there, but you can explore that. So that's your looking at the journals. You've also got a database search, so looking at the specific databases. Cite them right is one that you're going to need for your referencing. So if I start typing cite them right, it'll come up here, or if you look at referencing there, I think it's the only one we've got for referencing. You can see that's the cite them right database. So I'll show you that one first. Click on it. Again, you can save it, you can pin it to your favorites, you can add it to your reading list, your collection. If it's a date, you can save a book, a journal, a database, anything to your collection. So if I click on Cite Them Right on the link, and it takes me to the home page. So this is the online version of the Cite Them Right book, 12th edition, and our referencing, UWTSD's referencing guide follows this very closely. So anything you need to know about referencing, you've got basics of referencing, tutorials, videos here. You just choose your style, which is Harvard. And then once you go in here, you can see there's Harvard General Guidance along the right here in the menu. So you can set up citations, what to include in your reference, all the information you need there. And all you need to do is come along, whatever you've got in front of you, decide what it is. Is it a book? Is it a chapter in an edited book? Is it a journal article? Is it a website? Is it a report? Once you've decided what it is, and that's generally the most difficult part of referencing, is deciphering what it is you've got in front of you, because everything is hosted online. Once you know what it is, so if you've got a book, you can see book is the first section. E-books that look like printed books online. So in other words, it appears with the cover and you can flick through it a bit like, a bit like a Kindle does, I suppose. If it looks the same and the pages and chapters are the same, you can reference it exactly the same as a printed book. Okay, so we'll just click on print e-books here and it tells you it looks like a printed book. Then you should reference it as a printed book. Gives you the information you need for your reference. So the information for your reference list and the order it needs to come in. Gives you an example of what your in-text citation could look like. So it either gives you a narrative here, or it'll give you a parenthetical one. So you can see here, it's all in brackets there. So you can see it's the difference of the 2 different types of citation. And it gives you a U-try. So here, if you want to, you can leave all the punctuation and you can just overwrite it. So you can just put and you can put the dates, you can put all the information you need in there. put the title of the book, then you just copy it and you can paste that into your Word document as well. So it gives you an option to try and use the information you've got in front of you and put it in. So you can see there whatever you need. There's the breadcrumb trail, so you can see where you are. You can go back to Harvard, and we can have a look at journal articles. And again, same information as it shows you if you've got a print article, which we don't see many of these days. Electronic articles with a DOI number, and electronic articles with URLs, so no DOI number. And it gives you an example of the different ones there. And some with article numbers. So we get quite a few of those there as well, which have got article numbers instead of issue details. And if you're not referencing journal articles yet, you'll see them once you start referencing them. You'll see the difference between them. So Cite Them Right has got everything in there. As I said, you've got the guidance as well on the home pages, and that gives you all the information about citing different authors, number of authors, when used et al, if you've got the same author in different years or in the same year, if you've got no dates, things like that are all covered here. But likewise, that's covered in the Moodle module I showed you earlier under referencing as well. And some of it is covered in our handbook. So everything you need for referencing, this is a fantastic site. We pay for access for this because we felt that this site was most beneficial for students to help them with their referencing. So our handbook will cover most things, but it's not going to cover everything. It's only, I think it's about 16 pages long, something like that. Whereas this has got so much more on it. If you look at the Harvard, you can see all the different options here. If we just go to digital and internet, for example, if you just web pages on their own, digital repositories, social media, it covers everything. Okay. Media and art, you can see streaming, an awful lot of information it covers. So I think when you're looking at what you've got in front of you, this is the most difficult part, is figuring out what it is. You can search at the top. So if I put in reports, you can see there, it'll give me the results. But just be aware, if you do use the search box, it will search across all styles. So make sure you click on Harvard to get the right one. Don't start referencing other different styles. So you can see internal reports, research reports, company reports. Lots and lots of different ones there that you might come across and different ways of referencing them. So now I've horrified you with all the different types of referencing. We'll come out of Cite Them Right and show you some of the other databases. Are there any questions on that? I can come back and do a session on referencing. If anybody wants one, please let me know and I can come and do a full referencing session if need be.
Maybe if anybody who's finding that there's some part that they'd like to cover again or whatever, as you say, then or in particular referencing, maybe they can let us know when we can arrange that then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, it looks like there's no comments again in the chat, okay. So hoping it's all okay so far.
Thanks, Laurie. So you can see here, I've searched all databases by category. Now, as I said, we've got 107 databases that we subscribe to. Not all of them will be relevant to you, but it is worth exploring to see what we've got, because you all cover very different topics. I know there's a range of students and subject areas on the chat today. So have a look to see which ones you think might be interesting for your particular topic. Everything that you see here is available for you to access online at home from anywhere. The only exception to that is Ancestry, which is here. That one you have to be on site, on campus for you to access, but everything else you can access at home online. You just click on it and click on the actual link. So you can see, you can scroll through and have a little explore and just pin the ones you think might be interesting for you or save to your reading list, or you can go by institute. So you can see we've got an Institute of Management and Health. We have got some under audio, visual, data, dissertations, things like that. I wouldn't explore the ones for ebooks and e-journals because whichever platform we can get the resource on, the cheapest usually, that's where we will get it from. So I wouldn't say that any one platform for e-journals and ebooks is better than the other. We do have some specific audio visuals. So these are, we haven't got that many here. I think there's 6. There we are. So we've got Henry Stewart Talks. So if you're looking at leadership or management or anything like that, we have got, that's a really good resource there. We've got Boxer Broadcasts, a fantastic resource for recording any programs that have been televised over, I can't remember how many, 75 channels. Doesn't include Netflix and Sky and Amazon and all those, but it does cover all the main networks and radio. And usually there's some really, really interesting talks on the radio. People forget the amount of interviews that are held on radios and debates that they have. And there's some good stuff on there. Human Anatomy Atlas, and we've also got LinkedIn Learning. So you have got access to LinkedIn Learning, so there are courses that you can do, and they can help you so that you can put those on your LinkedIn profile as well. So you've got access to that, free access to LinkedIn Learning. So you can search by category. So if we go into Institute of Management and Health, you can see we've got topics. Again, if I go into health and social care, you can see there's 14 databases. These are the main ones. Any you've pinned will appear in yellow. You can see these are the main ones for this area, but that doesn't mean they're the only ones you can use. You know, you might be doing something within your subject area that you might need to go into one of the other institutes like science and art because you're looking at something to do with computing or engineering or something. So you might want to go in and use one of their databases. These are just the main ones that we feel are best for your subject area. Doesn't mean they're the only ones. So have a explore those and then do your search that you've done on the library catalogue, put it through, go onto one of the individual databases and search again for articles, because what that does, it cuts out the noise of the rest of the subject areas for you. So if you're looking at coaching and mentoring and you did that in Business Source Complete, maybe it would be you'd have less results that are looking at medicine or whatever, because that's a different topic area. So have a little play with that. I know we're coming to the end of our session, so there's quite a lot to take in. Is there anything anybody need more is up here as well? So once you're in the catalogue, you have got need more up here. So you can just click on that and it'll take you to our requests form. Is there anything else anybody wants me to cover? It's a lot to cover in an hour, and it's an overview of everything. What I would say is go in and explore, use your keywords, have a little search, whatever you've got, whatever you find, use that information to find other things. So use the author, use the subject headings, use the database it was found in, or the journal it was found in, to go and search for other things. Obviously you've got your reading list. So on Moodle, you've got your reading lists at the side. Let me just go into this one a moment. So whatever course you're on, if you can't see your reading list, it's on this little tab here. Just click here, and if there's any reading lists, they'll be attached to you. This is an independent project, so it hasn't got reading lists on it. But if you look for your course codes, is it BMH? No, it's PF, isn't it?
BMPF.
PF
and BMPF 7006.
7006.
For example.
There
is a new module code for it, but as well, but we're running both at the same time.
Oh gosh.
But,
Let me put it in again.
Has just asked about where the reading list would be for the research method. So this is one version of it. There we are.
This one. So if you
one.
click on there, I can't get into this, but there's your list.
Okay.
No, it's because I'm not a member. I'm not a member. I can't self-enroll. But yeah, when you click there, so when you go in, obviously you'll be going straight into your Moodle, into your Moodle module. But on the right is this little tab. Click on that, and you've got online resource list there. Click on it, and it takes you into your list. When it takes you in this way, it'll probably show guest here. So make sure you click on it and sign in. So your initials appear there. Otherwise, you won't be able to access them. And then when you go in, you just, if it says check availability, if it's a hyperlink here, it means it's available online. If it isn't, it shows you as a physical. So if I click here, I can go straight to the book there and into it. So you can access it online there. Okay. And just read it online, and I'm in the book. Okay. Again, if I go from here, if I wanted to save that one, so I'm in my reading list. If I wanted to click here, yours will look a bit different because I've got more options, but you just go copy to my collection. And it's copied to my collection, so it's saved it if that's one I've used. And then I go to my menu, go to my collection, and it'll be in the top of my collection. And I can add tags to that. So it means I'm keeping everything I've used in my research, in my work, in there for my reference list, so I know which ones I've used and which ones I've got to reference. It's 5 o'clock. I don't know, I could show you the citation button under here as well to look for external sites, and there's Google Scholar, and there's so much more. But I don't know how much time everyone's got. If you've got another 10 minutes you want to carry on, I'm happy to do so, but if not, I'm happy also if you need to get off and call it a day. It's a lot to cover.
There's a lot to cover, isn't there? If anybody needs to leave, please feel free to do so. But maybe if you can just finish off and do those few things, and then obviously people can leave if they want to. I think that's probably the best option, isn't it?
There we are. Great. Okay, so underneath your name on your reading list, you've got an option that's got Cite It. If you click on that, it opens up to this, and all you need to do is drag this little button. It shows you to drag it up to your favourites bar. Your favourites bar has to be open, but you just drag it up. I won't do that now because I've already got it. But what this allows you to do, if you're in an external site, so if I go into the conversation, I'll just put social care in. So if I'm looking at this one, for example, if I wanted to use this and I think, okay, that's really great, I want to use this article, I've used something in it. If I just click Cite It, it opens up to this, and I would just add it to my collection, add and close. And then when I go into my collection next, I'll just refresh it. And it saved the external site for me. If I want to edit it, oops, sorry, if I go in and edit that, you can see then I can put the author in, so I can look at the author, I can add the author in. I could have done it from that first page as well. I could put in whoever the author is. Can't remember who it was. So I could put Jane Lethbridge and Edelina. I could put all that information in there and save it. It's a website. I can put the publication date. I can add more item details ready for my reference list. So I've got the full details in there. And likewise, there's the tag, there's the link. So when I come in next to my collection, I can go straight to it as well. So you can add things in externally from your site. So the other thing I wanted to show you is from the home page on the library. So if I go back, let's go back to the home page. Go into staff. I don't know why it's not taking me to my home page, to this one. What we've got underneath the section links, under academic and info skills as well, we have got, as well as the handbooks, we've got resources for research. So this is great for students if you're using external sites such as Google Scholar, or maybe you're on an external site, you've come across some journal online and you've ended up on, I don't know, one of the sites such as Taylor and Francis, who they produce the journal, they're publishers for journals. So if you've ended up on a site externally, not through the library catalogue, and you come across an article and you're like, oh, I wonder if the library's got this. If you've downloaded LibKey Nomad, and this works for books as well, if you're on Amazon or something like that, if you go to this bit on the library website, download LibKey Nomad. Now, if you're in university, if you're on campus and using a university machine, this should already be on there. So it'll automatically find it for you. But if it's your own machine, download that. And what it does, if an article that you come across, we have it in the library, there'll be a little LibKey Nomad. This will appear, download PDF. And click on that and it'll take you to our catalogue and the access to it. Because things you find online in Google Scholar or externally, a lot of them are behind paywalls, and we pay a lot of money for access to these articles. So if you download the LibKey Nomad and click on that, it will take you to the resource that we hold, because you can see there, this article that is showing, it's $40 to download the the PDF. Okay, so just make sure that you've signed up for that. The other thing, I'm just checking my battery, is Google Scholar. So if we go into Google Scholar, with Google Scholar, you can link the library catalogue to Google Scholar as well. So when you're in Google Scholar, click on the options on the left and settings, and then go into library links. And then if you start typing University of Wales or UW Trinity and search, it'll come up with this option here. Ignore the other two, they're just mine. If you click UW Trinity St David, tick the box and save. Then next time you go in, so if I'm looking at, I don't know, managing change, if we've got it, and if I look at, let's do something a bit more recent, so you can see here that if we've got it in our library, it'll say view at UWTSD library. So if I just click on that, and it picks it up, and I can download the PDF, or I can go to the article link. If I do that, it'll open up and it'll download the PDF for me. So you've got options to link external sites into the library catalogue to help you search for things as well. I'm going to come out because that's going to take a while, but that will download for you. It's take a while because I'm sharing. So that's, if I go back here to the breadcrumb trail, you can see it's under the home intranet page. Make sure you're on the intranet. It'll say at the top, academic and info skills resources for research. Okay, if we go back there, and there's our reference in the handbooks, and you just download that as well, PDF. Okay, so you can print that off, and you've got that as a resource alongside when you're doing your referencing as well. Okay, so there's an awful lot on the library catalogue. It's not just using the main search bar. You have got options, you have got advanced search, you can go into databases, you can go into the journals itself, you can search by resource, you can search by date, and you can link external sites to our resources, as well as saving them for your references. You've got the Cite Them Right for your references, you've got the reference in handbooks, and you've got the Moodle courses to help you. So have a look at the Moodle courses. If it's not on your Moodle homepage, just type it in, Info Skills, Library Info Skills, I think it's called. Library Info Skills and search, and this box will come up, and all you need to do is click on it and self-enroll, and it'll stay on your Moodle homepage as well. And everything I've shown you today will be on there as well. So are there any questions, please? I feel like I've spoken a long time tonight. And everyone's been very quiet.
It's been very comprehensive. Thank
Really
you.
useful,
It's a lot.
Fantastic, yeah. Has anybody got any questions?
I think somebody's about to type something.
Okay. You're more than welcome. Should we stop the recording?
Yeah.
And then
fine.
perhaps questions might be more free-flowing.